All right, yeah, shit. Let's go. Hey, man,
Secret House.
Secret House against. Hey, thank you guys for clocking in. Here's just a little update. Me and Jet haven't got together for a couple weeks now, so I'm actually really excited. You know, it's kind of lazy, and as much as I kept on trying to push this back as much as possible, we never record on Sundays, especially like 4 o'clock on a Sunday. Yeah. But I'm excited, man. El Spade has been in communication. He's going to be back in the next couple weeks. I think he said 2 weeks, like a couple days ago. So yeah, you guys know the original crew. DJ El Spade is coming back to Japan. Let's just do a little like update. Some of the reviews that we're doing, some of the things happening in Tokyo, and I guess that's it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. For me, shit's been cool. Last night I went out to the homie Phonics, who is a visual, like an artist. He uses a lot of different mediums. He's also a music maker. I've known the dude for a long time. He did some production remix work on one of the homies' album from way back in the day when they were in Vietnam together. He's just dope. I've done podcasts with him. I went out to his event last night at like a super ultra new gallery.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about? The one like around the bend in Harajuku.
Yeah.
But that was dope. And the homie Michael Avery Draw, Bronx MC that I met several years when he came out here to perform with his art collective, Anomaly Conglomerate, was there. G. Amazawa showed up. He was there. My homie Yo Jamal's Dead Keen was there. And also, here goes some art. I took a couple pictures of Phonics' work. So yeah, that's what I did. You were also at an art gallery.
I was
last
also
night,
at an
yeah?
art thing. I was at something a little bigger and maybe more expensive.
Word.
I went to the Tokyo Gendai art show, which I think is also running today. My girlfriend works at one of the galleries that was exhibiting there. And yeah, it was great to be surrounded by this large variety of artwork in this massive convention center in Yokohama. Also very, very apparent that it's just an entire social class of people that I am completely detached from.
Couple different, a little higher on the rung.
A lot of Hermes
yeah.
handbags walking around.
Yeah.
The event seemed to be sponsored by Range Rover. They had the brand new Range Rover parked at the front, and that wasn't the most expensive thing in there because even like one of the pieces that was being displayed by my girlfriend's gallery, the owner was telling me he sold for $180,000. Just to give you an idea of like the money changing hands.
Yeah.
That said, you know, even though I mean it's essentially money laundering, you know, obviously
Shout out.
the reason people buy and sell art at that level, but you know, it was nice to be surrounded by that much art.
You know, one of the things about it is like art's pretty dope if it's made for $1, and sometimes if it's sold for, you know, much more than that. It's still always really interesting to go check out an art gallery. And Tokyo, and I guess the Kanto region and all of Japan in general, has a kind of rich and deep adoration for art. So there are spots all over the place, pretty cheap to check out.
And Tokyo Gendai is like one of the biggest art festivals, modern art festivals in Asia.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of in the same bracket as like Art Basel, which is obviously like the biggest one. Very international. Like most of the galleries, most of the staff were not based in Tokyo. A lot of them were based all around Asia, all around Europe, and in the US as well. So it was very cool to kind of get this kind of variety of art and meet a variety of people from all around the world.
Tight, man. Yeah, it's just been cool. Thanks for checking out the Mega Late Show episode that I did with DJ Quiet Storm and I Am Omni. If you haven't checked that out, man, DJ Quiet Storm is actually a living legend. He's part of the Living Legends crew, you know, Grouch, Eli, Scarab, Merce, those West Coast giants who have been putting it down for like 3 decades now. Yep. And he was largely responsible for bringing a lot of those guys out to Japan, produced a lot of the early work. So his friendship is one that I really value because he is a true Tokyo OG and just the coolest guy. Like every time I link up with him, brings me into the venue, brings me into the green room. I get to meet people who, you know, I never thought I would meet, kick it with a lot of cats, and he's just really great for that. And also, I Am Omni is an incredible artist himself, with a rich history of West Coast and underground hip hop. So check that out if you get a chance. Also, the Alaska conversation that I put out, I think that's been getting some decent play. I saw Alaska reshare it. People watch that. I also received an email from our homie Barun Shout out to the Patreon. He hit me up and was just basically saying, he enjoyed it immensely. And also Ishmael Bennett. A lot of people that don't know Alaska might just be like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? But he's really kind of in the thicket and like in a part of it. So I think that we're going to do more. I never wanted to do video shit. And throughout coronavirus, COVID, my podcast, which is based on sitting next to somebody, talking to them face to face, I stopped doing it for a large reason that people weren't coming into Japan. Also, it was more difficult to get homies here. Homies, rightly so, want to wear a mask, and I definitely just didn't really care for the vibe of having a mask on and talking in this room. So I was reluctant against Zoom, but
Sure.
I'm starting to feel a little bit more like inclined to do that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of very dope people, I say a lot, but, a good number of very dope people who we don't really have access to in Tokyo have reached out. And these are people whose work we appreciate, work we enjoy, and whose work we like to talk about.
Yeah.
So the fact that, we have some of these artists like reaching out and wanting to, talk to us, and we can use our small little platform in a way that helps them and they can like share our work with their audiences is like genuinely pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, like for a large part of it, like, I've got homies that have podcasts that do that. Like Alaska's podcast does that. They talk to people to have serious discussions. And, shout out to the homies at Dad Bod Rap Pod. They're also tremendously dope. And people who I think like the culture's in good hands. Like they do it well. They talk to the right people, they champion the right art, and they ask the right type of questions. But with me, I kind of was like, well, what can I contribute to like the conversation other than my own personal shit? But I was like, yeah, actually, what we're doing is a little bit different. We do implant a lot of leftist ideological critique into it, so why not? I'm not quite to the point where I plan on reaching out to people, but the people that reach out to us, we're definitely down to do it. And, speaking of which, this last month or so, Fatboi Sharif, who is a tremendous artist that we're big fans of, he hit us up and was like, yo, I've got the new album dropping with Still Tip Dove. It's coming out this month. I would love to hop on and do a conversation with y'all. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, we're both like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Fatboi Sharif and Still Tip Dove, DECAY. That's July 21st of this year.
It's dropping very soon. And he was kind enough to give us a early copy of the album so we could check it out. So we will be doing
be talking about it.
I imagine the next set of reviews that we do will include that. That's definitely one that I'm excited to discuss because I finally was able to get it download to my computer, and I've listened to it like 3 times. And if you're not familiar with Fatboi Sharif, he is just tremendous. The work that he's done in the past, we reviewed Planet Unfaithful earlier in the year.
Roper Williams.
And this album with Still Tip Dove is actually on a kind of wild and tremendous run right now. The collaborations that he's been putting out, like I said, Alaska, the conversation I did with him was based upon
dynamics of flow.
It's based upon the album he did with Still Tip Dove, and that and the album with No Such New Kingdom, incredible. So man, this is a treat. I'm really excited to share that with you guys. I've actually got the album on the phone. I'm not gonna hit y'all with no snippets because I didn't talk to Fatboi Sharif about that, and that's kind of like
he said for Arias only.
Yeah. So, fuck
and like, I looked at the email chain, like all the email addresses that he like forwarded it to, and like we're in some pretty esteemed companies. So.
Speaking of Dad Bod Rap Pod, David Ma, I saw his name on there too. I was like, all right, yeah, there we go.
C's on there.
Yep. So, that's out. That's coming out soon. And also, curiously, and one that I'm tremendously excited for, there's been kind of no more discussion about the new Noname album that's supposed to drop this month, Sundial, right? That I believe that's the name, Sundial, right? And there's not like there. I googled it this morning, and there's a lot of like. Around April, the conversation kind of ends. Like, new Noname was announced, and that's all we have. Now, she is a supporter of the channel, and, we're huge fans, but even with the proximity, I wasn't going to be like, yo, Noname, how about you give us some details about the album to share
Sure,
for the,
yeah.
you know what I mean? She's an artist. She's got to put it out her own way. But man, I'm waiting for that album. I've been going back and listening to it. I was just chilling with Mark DeClivelo.
Yep.
Last weekend, and we were going off on how much we love those Noname albums. So man, this might be a tremendous month for music. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's us. I don't know do we have anything else? YL and Stalker are coming to Tokyo. YL reached out to us. Next Saturday is the show. So if you're in Tokyo, go check that out. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. To be quite honest with you, the reason I'm not sure if I'm going to make it is because it's like $50 to get in. Mm-hmm. And YL reached out to us about a review that we did quite a while back.
Yeah, Soda Club Deluxe.
Which is one of Jet's favorite albums of the year and one of mine as well. It made your top 10.
Top 5, I think.
Top 5. And I was a huge fan of it too. And I haven't reached out to him to see about that guest list, but I don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't try to finesse my relationships with people to, you know what I mean? I guess it would be fine to do that, but
yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to make money. It's YL and Stalker. It's two casts. It's hard to tour in Japan because there's limited opportunities for the amount of time that you actually have here, unless you're stacking 2 shows in one night and like the next day you're doing an in-store, and then you have to travel to Osaka or Kyoto or Hokkaido and do all this shit. But yeah, they're going to be out here. If you're in Tokyo, check that out. Here goes a flyer. Yeah, I might go, but you know, cats are broke. Cats are very broke. Shout out to the patrons.
We've got a couple more reviews coming up that we'll be recording right now. We've got the Love the Genius,
the Genius Tape with DJ Green Lantern,
and Buck 65.
Super dope. I'm excited to talk about both of those albums. I think they both share kind of like a similar nostalgia.
Yes,
to a degree.
Absolutely.
But we'll get into that, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the patrons. You guys are the best. We had a new patron come in, a $5 a month patron. Shout out to Trey. That's my nephew too. My family just like putting money into the pocket, and you know, my wife is on there. We got about $10 from the family. So yeah, but we appreciate all of you just the same, even those of you who are not patrons. We're not planning any type of cap or exclusivity for the patrons versus the normal like the regular typical
viewers,
the subscribers, you know, and we appreciate that. I'm not sure if you guys have ideas on like any way to kind of differentiate the Patreon tiers. Come at us about it. But I'm really like
meaningfully, like, you know, we're a very small channel. Yeah. If you really, you know, you care about the show, you tune in regularly, like you're already interacting with us, and like feel free to just reach out. You know, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, whatever. Like you can find us. I signed up to Threads the other day.
I thought like I didn't see it in the Japanese Google store. You have an iPhone?
I've got an iPhone, yeah.
Okay, maybe there's a difference. But I was thinking about threading. I was thinking about, you know, because I don't do social media, but maybe if I got on the ground floor, I don't know.
Yeah, hit us up. We're around.
Anyways, man, we like you guys. Thank you. Secret House Against.
Secret House.
DECAY. Sundial. Shit is good.
Yeah, shit is good.
Shit is good.